How's it going, everyone? Happy Friday. We have three games today, and it all begins at 5:30 with Milwaukee and Indiana. Um, Everyone, this is my contributor guest for today, Zachary Roberts. Zachary, how you doing, man?
Great, glad to be here.
All right, man. So let's get into it. Indiana won a big game, game two. They share the ball. Pascal Saki, I mean, Indiana, they're lucky that they have a guy like Pascal Siakam on their roster, a guy that has championship experience, playoff experience in general. He was huge in game two with 37 points. And now the series is tied, going to Indiana. They'll be playing at 5:30. What do you think that Milwaukee needs to do to try to win?
Well, I mean, I think they're going to have to repeat the game one formula. They're going to have to feed Dame the ball, and they're going to have to hope he's on one like he usually is. But, without Giannis, it creates a big void. And to be honest with you, I'm a little surprised they even got one of the games. I thought that would be really a death sentence for them not having, one of the three best players in the world on active and healthy. But they were able to run their offense through Dame, and it worked. I mean, he had 35 at the half. Could have had, if they needed it, he could have had so much more. So I think they need to replicate that game plan, and they are going to have to play good defense because right now, Indiana has like the better starting lineup because they have really three stars in there that eat Halliburton, Siakam, and Sabonis could all three. I mean, they could have a game. So I think their work defensively is cut out for them. And going on the road, it's a tough ask for them. But I think if they can if they can score, primarily through Lillard, if they can get Chris Middleton going, I think they definitely have a chance.
I think that in order for Milwaukee to have success in this game, Damian not only scored, but he has to be a playmaker as well. He has to facilitate more. He can't be Damian Portland Blazer Damian Lillard throughout this entire series. Chris Middleton, you said it, he has to get going. This guy before Damian Lillard was the second best player on the team. So
Mhm.
now you're the third best player on the team. You have to contribute. You have to do something. Um, Bobby Portis, I want to see more from him. He's the one of the finalists for Sixth Man of the Year. I want to see more from him. So same thing with Brook Lopez. Like it will take a collective team effort without Giannis for them to come out of the series because Indiana, they're no scrubs. They're good. And with the addition of Siakam made them more even more dangerous for the series.
Yeah, totally agree.
Now let's go to the second game of the day. Clippers, Mavericks. As there's a third year already that both of them go at each other in the first round. Jeez Louise. Um, Kawhi Leonard, as we can see, who's my favorite player in the game, he's back from knee inflammation, but you can tell that he was rusty in game two. But he's slowly gonna get back into rhythm because when you play your first game coming out of an injury, you're gonna be rusty. So we saw that in game two. He only had about 15 points in that game. But James Harden has to step up. Paul George has to step up for the Clippers. And as for the Mavericks, we know what Luka can do, you know? But obviously the other guys have to step up as well. Who do you have for this game?
I think I'm going to go with Dallas. I think being at home and having a guy like Luka Doncic makes a big difference in games like this. I think I think it's really they're fortunate not to be down 2-0 because if Kawhi Leonard had played game one, I think they lose because they barely won when he was not playing. But I think going home makes a big difference. And I think that over the course of a 7 game series, having somebody of Luka Doncic's caliber just really it makes it so that you're not out of any game. You might be going in as a major underdog or not, but just having a player like that really, I think, shifts the the flavor of the game and really gives them a shot. And being at home, I think I think I'd be picking them if I was a betting man.
Oof. It's tough because I mean, wait, every time we have the Clippers and Mavericks is always a fight. It's always a dogfight between both of them. You have Luka with Kyrie and all those other pieces, and then the Clippers. I feel like during this Kawhi Leonard era, I feel that on paper, this is the best roster he's ever had to work with because now you have James Harden, Russell Westbrook coming out of the bench. You still have Paul George. You still have Zubac, who, by the way, I think it was in games one that he played terrific. So, on paper, this is the best roster that he had to work with. With him back, I don't know how we will have to pay attention to see how his knee will be. But for game three, I believe it will be a close game, and I'm gonna go with Dallas for game three. Now, the last one. We, in a way, I mean, me certainly, I didn't expect it, but it happened. Minnesota go up 2-0 against Phoenix. I don't know, but this Phoenix team on paper, they look legit. They're lethal. But on the court, it's like there's something missing there. I won't say that is like a player or anything. There's just something that's missing in that team that makes us think that they can't go all the way to the finals. There's something, I don't know what it is, there's just something missing there. Yes, you have KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, but there's just something about that team that is not fully convincing us that they could win it all because Denver's still the favorites. So, but now they're going to be playing at home tonight. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, I mean, look at the way their defense is playing. Their offense, Anthony Edwards, Nas Reed, um, who recently won Six Man of the Year. I mean, Cat, I don't know what's going on with him, but he needs to be more consistent. I don't know if it's injury still bothering him, but Rudy Gobert, we know what he's doing on defense. But do you think Phoenix could win this game? Do you see Minnesota go up 3-0? And if so, if you think Phoenix will win this game, what do you think they need to do?
I I think it's just going to have to come down to their three stars. If you pick any team in the league and you pick their three best players, I'm not sure I'm not sure really of any team that has a better trio than the Phoenix Suns have. I mean, you have two all-world players in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and then to have Bradley Beal as your third best player is something like no team really can say they have somebody of his caliber as their third option. But like you said, there's something missing. I I think they might be stretched a little thin, and I think ultimately this is where the depth of the Western Conference this year has really hurt Phoenix, I think, more than most teams, because if the West wasn't so deep, they would probably have a better record and a better seed. Things would be very different. And they wouldn't be going up against ultimately what is kind of a juggernaut in Minnesota. I think Minnesota is just that good that they're going to go up 3-0. But if Phoenix is going to avoid that, it's just simply going to take a Herculean effort from two of their three stars. I mean, they're Durant, Booker, and Beal. Two of the three are going to have to go for 30 plus and have 10 assists and a bunch of rebounds and everything. I think they're just going to have to hope for a game like that to be able to steal one. But I ultimately I don't think it matters too much in the grand scheme of this series. I don't foresee a comeback for them.
And they just had a tough blow with Grayson Allen, who's a great 3-point shooter. You need that guy coming off your bench to give some spark and get you a basket. But he
Mhm.
got hurt again, so that's a huge blow for that team because when you want to go and win a championship, yes, you need superstars, but you need good role players. And Grayson Allen was a good role player for the Phoenix Suns. Yes, he's an agitator. Yes, a lot of people don't like him, and this goes back to his days at Duke. But he's a terrific shooter, and to see him go down with that injury is gonna sting. I don't see him coming back in this series. Anthony Edwards, that guy's special. He is special. Oh my goodness. What I love about him is that he is fearless. Last year was his first year making to the playoffs, and he performed well, but this year he took it to a whole different level. That guy's special. Special.